Hey guys, what's good? So today we decided to film another video on our piercings. Michael already did a tattoo tour. I have like 2 tattoos, so there's no point in me doing that. But we've both had a fair few piercings. We don't have all of them in anymore. A lot of them have closed up, but yeah, we've had a few piercing experiences, so we thought we'd talk about those. And yeah, just say a little bit about them.
So I've had 14. Amy's had 21. So we're just gonna go through like sort of how much it cost us each piercing, how much it hurt out of 10 kind of thing. And if we've any photos we've got of certain ones and videos, we'll hopefully include them as well. This is like a quick disclaimer as well. We're not experts. Like we're not piercing experts. We're not.
Speak for yourself. I actually was a trained ear piercing specialist.
Accolades.
So
we're not experts. We're not. I wouldn't like necessarily take any advice from us, but like this is just sort of our experiences kind of thing. So just to like jump right into it kind of thing is like we've got the first one, which is the one that everyone gets, which is earlobes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my earlobes done on about a year apart. No pain at all for me. Like it was super easy. I had this one done with a gun, this one done with a needle. That was £5. That was 15. Needle hurt more because it's slower, but the healing was better for me. But yeah, that's for me for my lobes.
I got my first set of lobes done when I was 11. My dad actually took me as a surprise treat after doing my SATs tests. So yeah, that was exciting. And yeah, pain, literally don't even remember feeling it. I had no issues with that healing the first time either. So yeah, don't remember too much about it. I just remember there being no issues.
So I'm gonna probably put lobes at like 2 out of 10.
Really, I'm putting mine at like 1, maybe 0.
It's more like it was like I said. I've described it before. So it felt like a spot being picked, but like on your face when it hurts. Like it's so quick. It's like done. So that's our first one done. So the next piercing I'm going to talk about is our seconds, and in your case thirds as well. So I had my seconds done last year
By me.
by Amy and her friend. I had them pierced simultaneously. Those were both done with guns again. Same pain as the lobe really. It wasn't much different. And again same with the healing. But actually no, I'd probably say it hurt a little bit more than my original lobe.
Because you were super... Oh, sorry to expose you, but you were super nervous.
I was.
Because I was doing it. And I'd only known him for like a week. And he was telling me like, oh, I want a new piercing. And I was like, please come to my shop. I want to pierce you. So we did that. And me and Becca tag teamed you.
I think the reason that I was nervous is because I hadn't been pierced with a gun for like 5 years. And I'd had all my other piercings in between. All of them had been needle.
Yeah.
And a gun, like, it's just the idea of like a loud, like sort of like, but it was fine. What about you?
So I actually, the first time my seconds were done, I actually did them myself when I was about 14. Don't recommend, but I'd seen someone in school just like shove an earring through their ear to pierce it, and I thought, oh, I could do that. So I was bored at home one day and did a second on this ear, and then on this ear I did a second and a third. And to be honest, pain again like a 1. Really not bad at all. But I ended up taking them out like 5 days later because my dad would have killed me if he found them. So I was just like constantly hiding them and it just wasn't worth it. Took them out. And then fast forward a few years, when I'm working at Claire's, we get free piercings when someone's doing their ear piercing training. So I've had a few free piercings. My seconds that I've still got in now, they were done by my friend Jess. And then my thirds, I can't remember who they were done by, but I've had them done a few different times. I've currently got first, seconds, and thirds.
And how? So I paid for them. Again, I paid £7.50 for both of them.
Oh yeah, that's because you got my discount.
And Amy paid nothing. So again, like yeah, I'm gonna go 2 out of 10, maybe 3 out of 10 for my seconds.
I don't remember how much my first ones cost. my dad paid for them. I was like 11. And yeah, I haven't paid for any of the others since.
So 3 out of 10.
What, for pain?
Yeah.
1.
Just tougher than me. So the third piercing on this list is cartilage. I had my cartilage done at Amy's shop by
Same time as me. We got them done together.
Yeah, so it was done by someone who was training, one of them 3 piercings we were talking about earlier. In fairness, the pain was probably about the same as my seconds, but the healing process, because I didn't take care of it, it got very gross.
The healing process, even if you did take care of it for cartilage, is tough. So if you get it with a gun, just don't get it with a gun.
No, but the pain was fine, and the healing was fine, but I got that one for free. And you?
Yeah, so the one I got the same time as you, the piercing, yeah, not painful at all, like a 1, but the healing process was a challenge. It swelled so much, it was painful, I couldn't sleep on it, and then a few days later, even though I was having so much trouble with this one, I was bored at work, so we decided to pierce my other cartilage 3 times in a row. Actually 4 times, because we put 1 in the wrong place. We took it out and did it again. So my ear was not in a good way. It swelled up so much, and because I already had this one done, I couldn't sleep on either side. It was just not a good time for me. Like by far the most painful experience I've had with a piercing by a long shot. So yeah, I ended up taking them all out a couple of days later, because honestly I was in agony with them. And yeah, I probably won't get my cartilage done again.
So like I say, for the piercing pain for me, it was about 3 out of 10.
The actual piercing itself I'll put as like a 1/2, healing 11.
12, 15. So yeah, the healing was not great.
Not fun.
So this is the first piercing on our list that is a facial piercing. Again, it's one that we've both had. I've still currently got one, eyebrow. This is actually my second time getting an eyebrow. The first time I took it out, because I was boxing training at the time, so I took it out and it healed up. And I got this done recently in Australia. The first one was £20. Pain minimal, I say 1. And this one, how much was it? It was like,
I think we paid,
I want to say 90 altogether.
I was gonna say, I feel like we paid $60 each.
Oh wow.
So like £30, which is
it was
not
quite
bad.
expensive for an eyebrow piercing.
But £30, and you got the cleaning solution in with it.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, that was, again, pain was minimal. For you?
Yeah, my eyebrow, I got done like a little while ago now with Michael, and we went to our local tattoo studio. It was not too painful. I'll put it at like a 5 maybe. It was super quick. It was really easy to pierce. It was just quite a sharp pain. But however, I had a bit of trouble with the healing, not in terms of pain, but it just wasn't healing properly. I had a few issues. Firstly, the bar was too short. Secondly, I ended up losing a ball on it. It was just a bit of a nightmare, and a few months later I still had a big old lump on the bottom of it. It wasn't pretty. I ended up taking it out, unfortunately. But yeah, I liked the piercing. We'll put in photos of what it looked like.
So yeah, so as I say, out of 10 for me, it was like a 1.
You're putting that lower than your...
Yeah, my eyebrow, I literally didn't feel. I was like,
wow. Yeah, mine was like, a 5. But it was very manageable. I thought it was going to hurt a lot more than it did. Healing, the only trouble I had with that was getting like t-shirts on and off. I caught it quite a few times, which probably also didn't help with the fact that it didn't heal very well. But yeah, the healing, other than catching it, was fine. Not a problem really, apart from mine just didn't heal. I don't know about yours though. Well, this one's healed really fine. You never had any issues with that. So the next one on the list is septum. Obviously, I've still got mine, and it's one of my favourite piercings. I got this done. This was my second most recent piercing, and for me, the pain rating was like 2, maybe 3. It was so easy. I've actually got a video of me getting it pierced, so I'll probably put that in now.
Move at all, though. Do not move any muscle. You leave it like that, like an African with a bone.
Oh,
That's so quick.
Yeah, well, because you pierce the skin, not the cartilage, it goes through. It's a really soft piece of skin.
Yeah.
It goes through so quick.
that was so much nicer than I was expecting. So as you can see, it was so quick, and this bit of skin for me is really thin, so I barely felt it. Michael, however, you didn't have the same experience, did you?
So I've actually had my septum pierced twice. Once through what they call the sweet spot, which is the fleshy bit at the end here.
That's where mine was pierced through.
And the second time through the actual cartilage, because the scar tissue was not good to pierce. First time, 7 out of 10. It was painful but bearable. Second time it hurt a lot. I was like not expecting it. And that's the only reason I don't have it. I wanted to get it done again, but the pain's really putting me off. I spent like £20 on that.
Yeah, I think mine was £20 as well.
But yeah, that was definitely high up on the list. I loved it though, because like there's no scarring that you can see. All the healing and the gunk is like hidden, so it's like quite an easy one to heal, unless you've got a cold, which I did at one point because I had it in winter in England, and yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But yeah, it was one of my most painful piercings out of around an 8.
So for me, like, we had such a different experience with our septum. Mine literally did not hurt at all. The healing process, pretty easy. As Michael said, it's all hidden, so you don't have to worry about it kind of looking gross. Mine bled quite a lot, like the most out of any of my piercings. But pain-wise, unless you knocked it, no pain really for the healing, and it healed pretty quickly. And yeah, still got it today. It's one of my favourites. Okay, so next one is nose, like just the nostril part. And for me, I got my nose done with a gun. A lot of people will say that it's really bad to get it done with a gun, Michael including.
Yeah,
So I'm not recommending you get it done with a gun, but in my experience, I had no issues with it at all. It was completely painless. I'll put it at like a 0 or a 1. It hurt even less than getting the lobes done, and the lobes, yeah, didn't hurt at all. The nose was even less. The healing, again, I had no issues with it at all. It got pierced with a stud, but I always wanted a ring in it, so I changed it over to a ring literally the next day. No problems with that. And I've not currently got a piece of jewellery in there, only because since having my septum, I haven't found a bit of jewellery that kind of looks good with it all. But it is still open. You can just about see a tiny hole, but only if you look really closely. So I don't think it will ever fully close up, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, one of my easiest piercings. Also, I think it was like my second piercing after my ears. So one of the ones I've had the longest.
So I did my nose also a couple of years ago. I had mine pierced with a needle. Mine hurt a lot more. I'm going to say like a 7 out of 10. I didn't expect it to hurt either. I thought it was going to be alright. But obviously all the people that I'd spoken to who'd had nose piercings had it done with a gun. So it was obviously a very different experience. I got it done with a needle, and yeah, it hurt quite a lot, but it was over so quick anyway. So I'm gonna put it like a 7 out of 10. That cost me a little bit more. That cost me like £40. I was visiting family at the time in a different part of the country. Healing was alright. I changed over to a hoop quite quickly, and that hoop actually got torn out. Not torn out, but it got yanked on, and then I had to take it out, and then it closed up so quick. I'd only had it in for maybe 6 weeks in total. But yeah, that hurt. I'd love to get it redone on this side to like balance out my eyebrow piercing. But yeah, the pain was like healing was alright.
I forgot to say as well, mine cost me £5, so it was so cheap.
So next one is one of my favourite piercings, and one of the ones I've had the longest after my ears is my lips. So I've actually got these done a year apart, and the pain for me was like definitely was there, like it hurt, but nothing much really. I'd probably say like maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 10. I paid £20 each for these, so 40 in total. Healing's a bit weird because when you're speaking, when you're eating, when you do anything with your mouth, drinking, you can feel it, and it's very odd to get used to at first, especially having something in your mouth. But I didn't really have too many troubles with it. I did get infected at the beginning, but that was for a very short time. But that was because I was putting a retainer in it for school and then changing it over when I got home, and that was in the first 6 weeks still, which is a stupid mistake.
Definitely not advised to do that. Yeah, for me, my lip piercing, this is actually the most recent one I've got. I only got this a few months ago, same time Michael got his eyebrow. Mm-hmm. We were staying in some fancy hotel in Sydney because we'd just been
Not
paid.
To flex.
We'd just been paid, and we were like, let's go and spend all our money. So yeah, we decided to go and get spontaneous piercings. And for me, my lip, out of all my piercings, I was by far the most terrified to get it. For some reason, the idea of getting that bit pierced just made me feel a bit weird. Pain, I would say, same as you, probably like a 5. However, this is the first time I've ever had this after a piercing. When I came out of the room, I just felt really weird, like dizzy, kind of lightheaded. Michael said it looked like I was going to pass out. So yeah, it wasn't due to the pain. I think it just, the feeling of getting it done was so strange for me, and it just made me feel weird. But healing, yeah, as Michael said, it's kind of a weird one to get used to in the first couple of days because eating is a bit of a challenge. But it wasn't painful, it was just like annoying. But after the first couple of days, no problems with it, not painful, healed pretty quickly. And yeah, I love it. Just got a horseshoe in it at the moment. Yeah, I think, we paid $60 each for those piercings, so that's about £30 in English.
So this piercing next is one that only I've got. Amy hasn't had this one. I've had it twice since my bridge. As far as pain, same as eyebrow, it was like a negligible amount. It was nothing at all. Again, like £20. The healing process was alright for the first time, went smooth as anything, no issues. But the second time, which was most recent, which is the same time Amy got her eyebrow pierced actually, it got infected, and I had 2 like pus sacs on the entry and exit points of the piercing, and they would go up and down, flare up and down, get sore. It was a nightmare. But that was because I didn't take care of it properly, which is why it's so important to listen to the instructions that your piercer gives you. I've never done that. I highly recommend you do that. It's just not worth the pain, the hassle and the time. I'm not saying that just because you don't listen to them, you're going to have a problem every time, but it does increase your chances of having an issue by so much. And I've learned the hard way. So just take it from me, do not stray from that path. Just listen to what the piercer says, don't touch it for 6 weeks, put on what you're supposed to put on, clean it, etc. But yeah, so that was my bridge. I've actually got a scar. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but that's because it got infected. I didn't take care of it. But for my first one, I didn't actually get any scar tissue. But one of my favourite piercings, loved it, and like I say, like a 1 or 2 out of 10.
So this next one I've had and Michael hasn't had, which is nipples. And this is one of my favourite piercings. I'm so gutted that I don't still have them. Painful wise, definitely by far my most painful piercing. I'll put it at like a 7 or an 8. Healing wise, so the first time I got it done, I was actually 17. Me and my friend Jess went to get them together. and most places won't actually pierce nipples until you're 18. So we kind of went to a slightly dodgy place that would do it prematurely, and that might be why that one didn't heal properly for me. I ended up having to take it out about 6 months later. And then I went back again to a much better place down in Brighton with my friend Becca. This was about a year or two later, and I ended up getting both of them done. And these ones healed perfectly. I had them in for about 2 or 3 years, but I ended up taking them out because the bars and the balls kept falling out while I was sleeping, and I just got fed up with like waking up in the morning and having to look for a tiny piercing ball. So I just took them out, and eventually they closed up pretty quickly. So I kind of regret not I kind of regret letting them close up, because as I said, they were my favourite and it's such a hassle to get them pierced. So I don't know whether I'll go through that again. But yeah, I loved them. Just very painful. Healing wise is okay actually, unless you catch them. It is incredibly painful. If you've had them done, you'll know the pain of catching them on the towel after the shower, or catching them on your t-shirt when you're getting dressed. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Definitely the second time they healed really perfectly. So, change of scenery. Sorry, we moved places. But yeah, that's all our piercings that we've had. Potentially, we might film a come get piercings with us video. So I know there's more piercings that Michael wants, and I'm currently debating whether or not to get my bridge pierced. So yeah, that might happen.
So as you've probably seen from this video, everyone has different pain thresholds. So what I thought really hurt, Amy might think was not painful at all, and vice versa. So what these ratings are not a concrete, this is how much it hurts. It will vary from person to person, but this is just sort of our experience. Also, just from my experience, don't try and pierce yourself, because a lot of the time it can end badly. Like, go to a professional. It costs money, but there's a reason it costs money, is because they're good at what they do. And just follow the aftercare. Those are probably the main 2 tips from my piercing experiences.
Yeah, clean your piercing. Don't get piercings with a gun, and yeah, just look after it. Yeah, I think that's about everything we have to say.
Yeah, so I hope you'll enjoy this video. So I've done my tattoo one, we've done our piercings one. Eventually we might talk about my stretchers, if that's something that people are interested in.
Oh, yeah, I have a bit of a story about mine as well with that.
But other than that, all good. So cheers for watching. Peace.
Bye.